Welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Now let's hear for our special guest host, Alex Abuyuan.
All right. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate that. Anyway, gang, Alex Abuyuan here. We are fired up to share with you some ideas, and thank you, Andy Albright, for sharing the business with me, because I would not be here with you and doing the great things I've done and the mentorship he's given me. So it's an honor to be able to share with you some of these ideas, things that Andy's taught me, things that I've learned from other mentors in my life that hopefully will help you. And I've got some of my buddies here on the call that I'm going to help infuse this information in them. So really it's one of those things where, I'm the chief student. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you ever heard this thing, what flows through you sticks to you. But the more I learn, the more I want to teach it, because when I teach what I just learned, I lock it down more for me. So in kind of a selfish way, this is a lesson for me, but hopefully you'll get the benefit of it as well. So I got my buddy, Dennis Lyons on, Patrick Connors, John Femiano, and a lot of this really kind of came out of the, here they are. And a lot of this came out of, the question that Dennis asked me, because Dennis is on a tear recruiting like crazy, and he had some really serious questions like, can you borrow my wife to help him with recruiting? And I go, no, she's mine, because she's helping me with all my stuff. And I started thinking, the mentorship that I'm getting from the people I plug into in Andy Albright, it's like, what, we need to really kind of go to the woodshed and kind of go back to basics, maybe teach all you guys and myself and those listening in the Alliance Nation, how to think about your business. Really the theme of this whole thing is how to think about your business like a business, as if you're the president, CEO of your agency. Patrick's always been really big on treating your business like a business, your own corporation. And how would a president of a company, the founder of a company, the guys I hang around, these are software as a service entrepreneurs, and they call them founders, right? Because they founded the company. They're the ones, building their software businesses, software as a service business, okay, not strictly software. And they think about their business differently, and they call them founders. So you're a founder. Every one of you that got a life insurance license, we consider a founder of your business. And you are probably hold many hats: CEO, CFO, COO, all the C's, plus you're the admin assistant. You're the one that goes to get coffee for yourself. You're washing your car. You're putting, stopping by, putting your clothes in the laundry. You're doing everything. And what you find is that you treat your business as if it's your hobby, or as if it's, instead of treating it like a real solid profit making business. And I think had I learned a lot of these business owner concepts when I got started, man, I would have, my business, I know I would have built it differently with the idea of creating value. Okay, so I'm going to share with you and get this party started with a PowerPoint presentation. What a concept. Okay, so the idea is creating value in the business, and sort of the subtitle here is creating value in a business that someone else would want to buy. And that was something that we didn't ever even think about when we got in, right? When we got in this business many moons ago, for me, it was 23 years ago, right? I did not know what the end in mind was. We always hear that, begin with the end in mind. And what is that? What does that mean? We at the time when I got in the business, what was the end? The end was making a lot of money, getting free from my stupid job, right? That was the thing I needed to do. I want to get free from my stupid dadgum job. I wanted to be able to spend time with my family when I wanted to, and I wanted to be able to sell when I wanted to. needed freedom in a bad way. So that's just about as far as I could see in front of me. Okay. And within 3 months, I was able to do that. But what does this mean? Like, is it freedom? Is it money? Is it independence? How's the insurance business going to get you to where your end is? And then eventually, what is your exit strategy? So when you talk to business entrepreneurs, like some of the guys I hang around, it's always this idea of what is their exit strategy. Many of them, if not all, actually all of them, I'll just say categorically, all of them is, my exit strategy is 5 to 7 years. I want to build my business to the point where my monthly recurring revenue is, 100,000 a month. Okay. Monthly recurring revenue. And then, so the annual recurring revenue is what, 1.2 million annual recurring revenue. And then I'll get paid a multiple of that, maybe 5x based on the type of business I have. That's my exit strategy. And what these guys do is they have this focus of 5 to 7 years selling their business and then starting another one. A lot of them they do multiple software as a service businesses, but maybe they want to go into another business. But this is their mindset. They already know what they want to accomplish. Well, I didn't know. When I got into this business, look, I created a big business, and it was really by accident, honestly. I had a small mindset when I got started. Like I said, I got started. I had 3 young kids, ages 4, 2, and 1. My wife just kind of went along for the ride because, here's Alex, wanting to get free. And she's just coming along. She just trusted me that I was going to do the best thing for my family, and so Andy Albright and I partnered up. He called me and said, "Hey, dude, you interested in making extra money?" I said, "Yes, brother. What are we going to do, Andy?" He could have said we'd be selling Fuller brushes door to door. I said, "Rock on, man, brother, let's do it." Because I knew Andy, everything he touched turned to gold, and he had this charisma, personality. I just knew that he was going somewhere. So I wanted to go with him wherever that was, right? Just seems like a good idea. Insurance sales. Okay, cool. Can people make a lot of money? Yes, they can make a lot of money. I said, "Okay, brother, let's go do this thing." So we got started selling, and within 3 months I flushed my stupid 6-figure job and started selling insurance, and I started building my business from beginning. Okay, like a lot of top producers, if you ask them what would he have done different, a lot of them will say, "I wish I could have started building my business earlier. I wish I could have started recruiting earlier." That was not my answer. Okay. I started building a business from Jump Street, dude, because I wanted to get free from selling. I mean, I love selling. Don't get me wrong, but I couldn't see myself selling the rest of my life. I didn't want to, be getting no-showed when I'm 80 years old, right? So that's sort of like this fuzzy idea of the end in mind for me. But I didn't really know what that exit strategy was because I really didn't have it in my head, And then all of a sudden, integrity marketing comes along, and integrity marketing are buying out businesses like they bought Andy's business, right? And they're offering partnerships to people. And it's like, whoa, this is really cool. There is an exit strategy for someone in the insurance business. And that's where I learned that, Integrity, Merilife, and this other third company, these guys are just buying up agencies all over the country, right? Integrity is just one of them, okay, and one of the largest. They own over 200 IMOs, and it's like, wow, what a concept! I didn't know that could happen, and all of a sudden I started going, huh, Then I got involved in other businesses. That's their whole idea is how can I grow it? How should I grow it to have an exit strategy, right? And so I learned that entrepreneurs think differently than when I got in, and it just totally blew me away. And so what I want to do is I want you, the purpose of today is to kind of give you an idea of how to build value in the business from the beginning instead of towards the end or in the middle or whatever you are in the business. And if you're already building your business, I want to share with you how to think about your business so you're building value. In other words, building value so that someone would want to buy it. Okay. And these come down to really simple, we call them KPIs, key performance indicators. Okay, another nerdy business concept, but something that you really need to know. Like, look, gang, come on, man. Put your big boy pants on, like Mike Leventovich always says, and big girl pants on to be, totally inclusive. And let's start thinking like a business owner. But Alex, I don't have an MBA. Dude, a lot of these entrepreneurs don't have MBAs. It's just crazy. It's funny how people think that it's like, come on, buck up, man, and learn it. I mean, you learned how to do a Mutual of Omaha e-app, okay, where the client has to sign an email twice. You learn how to do that and navigate a client. Oh my gosh, you can learn these simple business concepts so you can take your business to the next level. So you're not wasting time, not building value, just grinding and grinding and grinding and not even thinking about building value in your business. Now that you know these things, then there's no excuse, right? There's no excuse for you not to treat your business like a business and build value in your business. So it becomes a business that someone would want to buy you out on. Okay. And it's just more of a concept. Okay. Because I don't want you to waste any more time just grinding and being happy. Oh, I made Alex, I made $1,000 over my lead bill. Rock on. So you're making 50 grand a year. Great. Are you doing this part-time? No, I'm doing it full-time. Oh gosh. So what are you doing with your other time? That probably took you 10 hours. So what are you doing with the other, 158 hours in your week, right? You know what I'm saying? So it just cracks me up how people are. So I don't want you to waste any more time. So I'm going to talk about 3 things I think will hopefully make you think. I always add a little hyperbole, like rock your world. Well, I use that terminology because it rocked my world. I started learning these things. It's like, dude, you have been so in the dark, right? So I'm going to shed some light, hopefully that you will understand both from a selling perspective, because I know some of y'all are just happy selling. And you know what? Rock on. Let's do that. Okay, let's help you sell. I don't want to put any pressure on you to build a business because maybe you're just not into building a business. Maybe some of y'all have the attitude that, well, I don't want to babysit agents anymore. Well, okay, don't build a business because we don't want you building the business. You think it's babysitting agents. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's help you in the sales side. Okay. Now, those of you building a business, we're going to go over some key things to think about, things to measure. And then ultimately, I'm going to cover what I really wanted when I got started. And definitely what I want now, and I wish I had that clarity back then, 23 years ago, is buying my life back. And I'm going to share just one simple concept of many. There are many, but there's one simple concept will get you on the right road of thinking properly about your business. And it really hitchhikes on a lot of things that Andy Albright's taught me over the years, but this will give you a little bit more structure. So those of you that are, beavers or otters will really love this part because it'll give you some sort of structure on how to think about your business. So let's rock and roll, man. Let's talk about the sales side and let's see if we can help all you salespeople out there. So let's talk about exit strategy for a salesperson. What is an exit strategy for a salesperson if you're not building the business? Well, you've got a couple things to think about, and let me share. This is going to be a multimedia. Multimedia approach. All right, cool. Okay, so what does that look like for a salesperson? What is an exit strategy? Because you have an exit strategy, right? Alex, okay, what is an exit strategy for a salesperson? Well, you have one already, and that is selling. Selling till you're like 85 years old or till you die. Okay. And that means because you're just making enough to live and you're selling till you die. So that's an exit strategy. Right now, if you don't have any other exit strategy, your exit strategy is, sell until Social Security kicks in. And if you didn't put any money away, Okay. You're probably still selling because you got to supplement Social Security. So by default, when you become, if you're just focused on sales, that is your exit strategy. Or maybe you'll drive Uber on the side. You know how many retirees are doing Uber just to make extra money? Because you know they didn't wake up and want to do a second career, right? Driving Uber. Okay. So that is one exit strategy. What's another for a salesperson? Alex, I'm glad you asked. Okay. Here's the second one. And this is one is mega viable for a salesperson is, oh gosh, that looks terrible. Renewals. So renewals is a viable strategy. Okay. So what are renewals? Well, you're writing business. Okay. This is your block of business every month. And a portion of your business, in my hierarchy, I think we write probably, maybe it's 60% in permanent products and the rest are other, right? The other 40% other. So what is your business? Is your business permanent products that create renewals? Okay, this is what you have to think about. And what type of renewals are we talking about? Renewals on whole life, renewals on index universal life. Term basically doesn't have renewals. Some term have 10 years worth of renewals, but we're talking long-term renewals that you can maybe retire on. Medicare is a huge one for renewals. Okay, so renewals is an exit strategy for you to build it up over time. Can you imagine what Megan Wood's renewals are? Okay, that she has a viable opportunity there with her renewals, and we don't talk about it enough, but you know what is your business? Is your business percentage of your business in renewals? We used to do mortgage protection all the time. We got in mortgage protection. Can you imagine building a renewal base just on mortgage protection? The answer is no, because we didn't have renewals when we got started with mortgage protection. So we had zero renewals from that. So permanent policies are where it's at. The other issue, so the thing about building a renewal base is you have to be focused on understanding what that is. How much of your business is coming back in renewals? Okay. And then here's the third part of this. Okay. Because you're looking at renewals, but what are you putting away in terms of investments to build your retirement? Okay. Are you investing in an IUL for tax-free retirement? Okay. If you're young, God bless you, man. What I'd recommend right now is make enough to put $1,000 a month in an IUL. And then when you start moving up and getting promoted, getting higher commission rates, get that to $2,000, get that to $3,000 a month. And by the time your exit strategy comes into play, whenever that is, you're going to have a tax-free retirement. You're going to have your renewal base, right? And you're going to have a book of clients that love you because you're doing your annual reviews. All right. So these are things to think about when you're thinking about your exit strategy. Okay. So let's talk about, let's see what time. Okay. So what are the key things to share with you on growing your sales? Okay. So how much time do I have? Okay. Okay, how do you grow your sales? I'm going to share with you a concept that I don't know that you've maybe ever seen this before. Some of you might have, but let me see. Okay, so for all you salespeople out there, by the way, let me say this. We love you. We value you. You are an important part of the business because no one makes overrides until people sell insurance to somebody. Okay. So never think that, because I get this sometimes when I'm recruiting is like, well, all they talked about is recruiting. And, they just, recruiting. And they never recognize salespeople. It's like, I love salespeople. Okay. So, don't ever make any mistake there. You are valuable to me. Okay. Anyway, business funnels. So from a salesperson's perspective, you know that you only have 5 ways to grow your sales. So what do I mean by that? Well, so the business funnel basically is how many prospects are you putting into your sales funnel? In our terminology, it's how many leads are you putting in your sales funnel? And that also goes into current clients you're serving, referrals, but how many prospects are you talking to? Okay. The next part of the business funnel is conversion rate. Of the people you're talking to, how many of those people are you converting, right, that buy a product from you? Okay, this is a simple equation, man. I'm not trying to go MBA on you here. So you got number of prospects, and then you got your conversion rate, and then you have clients that buy from you, right? And then how many transactions over time? How many clients are buying from you every week, every month, every quarter, every year? Okay, and then you multiply that by what's the average premium per sale, the average sale that you're making, right? And that will give you your total revenue. This is how much money that you're making. And then you have margins. What's margin? Margin is the cost of doing business. We call that, client acquisition cost you're taking out. What is that? That's lead cost, right? That is putting gas in your car. That's all these things in terms of creating a client that stays on the books. Margin is basically, really, let's just talk sales, placement and persistency. How many people that you get accepted, and how many people keep their policies, for the long haul, past 13 months at least, or past the chargeback period. Okay. And then, that becomes your renewal base if you're writing permanent policies. And then ultimately, that's your profit, right? And you're in business to make profit. Make no mistake. The number one objective in business is to stay in business, and that means being profitable. Okay, and all you have to do is look at your spouse, and she is your profit indicator. Okay, she will, or he will know, will give you every indication whether you're profitable in this business or not. And you would rather not have that the case. Either like Jeannie is smiling at me at the end of the week, or she's not smiling at me, and that's my profit indicator. By the way, she's super happy. I've never seen her happier. So things are looking really good in the ABN household. And when my wife's happy, I'm happy. And then I get rewarded along the way in some very important ways. Anyway, I won't go there. So my question for you as a salesperson is, what are you in control of, dude? Dudettes out there. What can you control in this process? Okay. Or what do you not control directly? You can't really control directly clients that buy, because you can't make someone buy a policy. You can only help someone who wants to be helped. You can't totally control revenue, because you can't just will your revenue to go up. And you can't control profit directly, right? But what can you control? These are the 5 things that you only can control. And if you focus on these 5 things, you will rock your business. And part of this is key performance indicators. This is how you know you're profitable or you're not profitable. This is how you know your process, your sales process is working for you as a salesperson. Number 1, you can control how many leads, how many people you talk to, right? Whether they're leads or referrals, okay? You control that. How many leads you purchase, how many referrals you get from clients, working your current book of business, going back and helping them with other products, right? You can control your conversion rate. In other words, your skill level in converting them to sales. It's all about skill in conversion. How many transactions over time? In other words, how many appointments did you book every week? Average premium per sale. You are in control, honestly. Like, look at a Megan Wood, or a lot of people that put multiple policies in the home. They're in control of that. You are totally in control of that. And then margin, placement and persistency. What profit can you get from the business you put on the books? Are you staying ahead of your placement and persistency, or do you even know what it is? Like, dudettes, man. Seriously, if you don't know it, you're out of business, bro. I mean, seriously, you're out of business. So what does this look like? What does this look like? Okay, I'm going to just share with you just a quick nerdy spreadsheet. I've had this spreadsheet for a long time. So conversion, so leads, number of leads you run. This is like someone running on a week. And then how many dials do they make per lead? This is all conversion factors involved in converting these leads to sales. How many dials you make? What's your contact rate? How many people do you contact that you call, right? What's your booking rate? How many people you book into appointments? How many people show up on appointments? What's your show rate? What's your close rate? How many referrals are you getting per sale? Okay. That's huge right there. This all leads to conversion. Okay. So you see this person's running 10 leads a week. Woohoo. Right. You can see that running 10 leads per week, he's got a 5% conversion based on these numbers. So he gets one client out of 10 leads. That's one transaction. Let's say he or she does $750 per sale. Then the margin, so these are transactions, number of transactions, the average premium per sale, and then the margin factors, placement rate, 75%, persistency, 75%. Those are the averages. But what if his placement rate is 50 and his persistency is 50? Check this out. Let's say they're at a 55. And let's say they're getting the integrity marketing instant internet leads. 10 leads a week at a 5% conversion, $750 per sale, they're losing money, right? But what can you control? Well, let's say you run 30 leads a week. It's $300 a week. Let's say you're going to make, $20 per lead. You're going to go ballistic. You're going to get a hold of people. And your contact rate's 10%. Let's put just small numbers, 15%. And let's say you book, 35%. And your show rate, you can get that to 60%. Right? And then your close rate, you can get to 50% because you're working on your skill. And let's say you're getting 1.5 referrals per week, right? And then on the margin side, let's say you get the average placement is 75%, average persistency. So look what you just did. You went from not making any money to even taking out $300 in lead costs. Now you're making $3,000 a week. And this is taking out placement and persistency. See, your margin, your conversion rate's now 47%, and your margin is 28%. Does that rock? So all of a sudden you went from not making any money because you control the things that you could control. Does that make sense, gang? So it's little things like this where you know to focus. So what are key performance indicators? What is your contact rate? How many people are you contacting per your phone calls? How many people have the people that you're talking to, you're booking to appointments? How many people are showing up? How many people are you closing? And then what is your placement and persistency? All the numbers are in the arc that you can track these things, but are you tracking them? See, the problem is for most people is they're not tracking them. And so they have no clue. So when I ask them, well, what's your contact rate? I don't know. What's contact rate mean? It's like, dude, are you the CEO of your company? Are you the founder of your company or not? I promise you, Jeff Bezos, when he started Amazon, knew all these numbers, okay, because he's the founder of that company. All right. So that's what I mean. Other key things, 5 ways to grow, is client acquisition costs. I already talked about it. Do you know that your client acquisition cost goes down every time you get a new referral? If you are not working referrals, man, you're going to go out of business. I promise you. Okay. And then the other thing, the other nerdy, concept, business concept is client lifetime value. What is the value of every client? Some agents treat clients as a one and done. One and done, man. They're off to the next client. One and done. Off to the next client. They could care less if the client stays on the books. They're just trying to outwork their placement rate and their persistency, which is the wrong thing to do because it just gets worse from there, right? But are you keeping your clients? Are you doing in reviews? Are you selling multiple policies in the home? Are you getting referrals? Because your client lifetime value can go through the roof. Again, I use Megan Wood as a great example. Her client lifetime value is huge, 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 right? So I'm asking you as a salesperson, do you know your numbers? Do you know what your client acquisition cost is? You probably do because it is your lead cost every week, just simply, okay, there's other things involved in that, but that's the simple one. But do you know what your client lifetime value is, right? Are you keeping your clients? Do you know what your persistency rate is? Remember, what is your exit strategy? See, knowing your exit strategy, because your exit strategy is purely as a salesperson, is to create a renewal base. Are you selling Medicare? Medicare rocks for renewals, but it only rocks for renewals if you're doing annual reviews and staying in touch with your client. So another Medicare agent doesn't snake your client and you lose those renewals forever. But you're going to get those renewals for as long as the client lives. Is that cool? And it could be 10 years. You might, 65 could be 10, 20 years, right? But 10, 20 years of renewals on Medicare rocks. So have you learned the Medicare product? Like, remember, if you are thinking about a proper exit strategy, then you're going to start getting motivated to create high value in your business, right? Renewals, baby. And then are you making enough so that you can put money into an IUL? So you can develop tax-free retirement like we're teaching all our clients. Are you doing what we're teaching our clients to do? Right? Well, Alex, I don't have enough money. Dude, if you're thinking like that, when are you ever going to have enough money? So you get into the round to it mode, right? Round to it. I'll get around to it. It's like, well, I'll take my family out to vacation when I get enough time and money. It's like, dude, when you're thinking like that, you'll never have the time or money to be able to take your family out because you're always living from hand to mouth. I'm trying to get you to think as a business owner, as a founder, what do you have to do? Okay, gang? So, Femiano, Dennis, Patrick, does that all make sense so far?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to hear. And I'm asking you out there in Alliance Nation, be more thoughtful. Begin with the end in mind. So how about the building exit strategy? I'm going to really talk more about that in the third point, but what are you doing to build a business? Are you building the business so you can continue being the magic in your business? Are you creating duplication? Okay, the real key question, and I'll get to that key question later, but are you building value in your agency? Are you running around with your head cut off trying to be everything to everybody, right? What is your exit strategy? Is it to just continue building your business and earning overrides and getting your overrides to the point? Because here's what happens a lot of times is you'll cap out. Guys and gals that are building an agency and properly not creating value, they cap out with as much as they can recruit. And their business only grows so much. And let's say you're making 200 grand a year, but you level off, right? How do you break through that level off period? Well, the way you do that is have a proper exit strategy. Know what you're trying to accomplish, right? Here's some of the keys there in growing your business. These are key indicators of how, because if you're tracking these as a founder of your insurance agency, right, then you are on your way to understanding what you're trying to accomplish in your business. First one is unique writing agents. In your agency, how many unique writing agents? What is a unique writing agent? It's someone that writes at least one issue pay policy per month, right? I have about a couple hundred, and it's growing too, right? But do you know how many unique writing agents you have? Because it translates, right? Because it translates to the average premium per unique writing agent, okay? And I know that in my business, and it's been like this for years and years and years, the average issue paid premium per unique writing agent is right around $4,000 a month. Okay, that's even with a Megan Wood. Okay, she skews everything, but it's about $4,000 a month. So if you got 20 issue paid agents, just multiply 4,000 by 20, you should be around 80,000 a month. It's like, but do you even know that number? Right. My question for you building a business, do you know what that number is? Do you know how many UWAs you have? Right. And then another key indicator is how many issue paid legs do you have in width? How many issue paid legs? Because width is profitability, depth is stability. So how many people are you growing your business with? So let me get back to my, whoops. I wish that just stayed on. But. Okay, so we talked about unique writing agents, okay? And then we're talking about issue paid, legs, and width. And the more legs you have in width, issue paying business, the more money you're going to make. Immediate money, okay? Because your override percentages on these legs out here are probably very high. Then you have developed agencies where your overrides are low, percentage is lower, but the volume is greater, okay? But the wider you go, the more profitable you're going to be immediately, right? And then are you recruiting to replace the people that quit? Because the people that you bring on and with are going to eventually quit. And are you replacing them? Okay. Are you getting them profitable where they stick with you? So do you know that number? How many issue paid legs and width do you have every month? How many unique writing agents do you have? Okay. Now this is more of an idea of an agency, someone who just hires agents. Now, if you're truly building a business, right, building a business is different than just running an agency. You're building an agency, right? It's just people direct to you, okay? But if you're truly building a business, then we get to a different category of thought process, and that becomes how many unique recruiting agents do you have? In other words, is it just you recruiting in your business, or do you have multiple people recruiting independent of you in your business? The more people, okay, so this is purely unique recruiting agents. And then you have unique recruiting agents in width, right? Recruiting legs, we call it. And then you have unique recruiting agents in depth. And you need both. But this is how you know your business is growing. How many people do you have that are talking to new people every week, independent of you? Because if it's just you, then you're just arithmetic, man. But if you've got multiple people, let's say you've got this person's, recruiting maybe 5 people a month, and this one's 2 a month, and this is 1 a month, and this person's 5 a month, 3, right? And then this person's maybe 2, 3, 5, this person's 10, this person's 5. Do you see how, and then you're at 10 a month, look what you did to your business. But if it's just you at 10 a month, and all you're doing is bringing on unique writing agents, your business is going to flatline. It's going to get to a certain point where at 10 a month, you're only going to do so much volume, and it stops, it caps out. The only way you grow as a builder is if you're growing your unique recruiting agents, and then developing leaders in depth who are teaching people, right? Now, look, you're thinking it's this huge thing that you got to do every month to grow. Like, can you grow 3% per month in your revenue and your volume? 3% per month. So if you're doing 10,000, what's 3% of 10,000? Can you add 3% per month the next month, compounding the next month? Well, 3 times 12 is 36%. No, it's not. When you're talking about compounding month after month after month on what was built before, that's huge, isn't it? It starts growing when you're talking about compounding. So we're not talking about something huge. So don't get your mind wrapped up on having to do everything all at once. Okay. So you folks that are building the business, not just an agency, but building a business, what are you focused on? What are your key performance indicators? Do you even know what your numbers are as far as unique recruiting agents, recruiting legs? How many? Oh, yeah, here's actually another one too. And this is huge. What is your business? What percentage of your business is built on, is creating renewals? Golly, that looks terrible. Renewals. Are you teaching your people, your salespeople, to sell Medicare? Are you teaching your salespeople to move people buying term to index universal life? Man, there are ways to convert people from term to index universal life mentality. There's so many great sales techniques to do that, selling value. And all of a sudden, you're creating renewals for yourself. Look, if integrity marketing started knocking on the door and they said, do I want to buy you? what can you tell them? Well, I create a lot of volume. I do 50,000 a month in personal production. And they'll go, huh? So in other words, if you go away, we lose all that volume, don't we? Yeah. So why would I want to buy you? There's nothing sustainable. Maybe I'll buy your renewals, but if it's just you, maybe your renewals are not that much. I don't know. Okay. That's the question you have to ask yourself. Now, if integrity marketing comes knocking on the door and they say that you have an agency, you've got jamming legs, especially ones that are really deep, of leaders that are growing your recruiting. They're recruiting. And then you got some that are really coming on, right? You got some new legs, and you got a whole group of salespeople. And your business is maybe doing 70% in renewal type of business, and Medicare. Do you think that they would look at your business and go, man, this team is rocking and it's growing? See, it's one thing to take a snapshot of your numbers in 1 month and say, oh, I did great. But how did you compare to last month? How are you going to change that and grow that the next month? See, because you're either growing, staying the same, or you're dying. And when someone takes a look at your business, is it doing this or is it doing this? Right? They value a business that's growing. I mean, it's common sense, isn't it? It is common sense. All right. So, Dennis, Patrick, John, does that make sense? This really gets a little bit more to what you're talking about, Dennis, but the next topic, the last third thing, will cover more of what you're asking about. Guys?
I think these are crucial things for people to understand based upon what their goals are in our business. And you address that as you started this. First, what are your goals? Do you just want to do sales? Do you want to grow a business? Sales are a part of that, certainly. But I like that we're spending time on this so that people have a way to conceptualize where they are and what they need to do to achieve those goals. Because a lot of us have those goals, we hear about them. A lot of people don't have the skill set. They don't have the steps. This is very valuable. I appreciate it.
Right. Awesome, man. Well, so let's get to the third thing. And so this comes down to the biggest question that I have for all of you and for everyone out there in Alliance Nation that is founders of your own insurance business. Okay. So my question for you is, can your business grow without you? Basic question. If you step out of your business, or if you get taken out of your business, will your income come in? And this is the concept that I've learned from my buddies called monthly recurring revenue. What is monthly recurring revenue? Monthly recurring revenue is money that's coming in that is not based, it's what you put in place, but it's not based on you keeping it in place. It keeps coming in month after month after month after month. In the SaaS world, it's related to how many license subscriptions do you have to your service. And every month it's coming in. All right. This is called monthly recurring revenue. What are you doing that you can step away from your business? And then really this is the idea of buying your life back. Right? Because, a lot of us, including me, we're out there recruiting, building, growing, we're active, we're traveling, we're doing everything. But can you really step back and no longer do that and truly have a business? So kind of under the idea of buying your life back and creating a business that you can step away from, God forbid, I can hear that echoing in the halls of the Alliance. Oh my God, Alex is teaching people an exit strategy. What a cost. Oh no, you got to be in your business to grow it, but you got to get it to the point where you don't have to be in it anymore. I mean, isn't that the purpose of business? In my opinion, from the guys I hang around, I'll just tell you how they define a business. They define a business, a real business, that it continues to grow when you're no longer in it. Okay. How many of y'all can say that you can step away and your business will continue to grow? So part of this concept of buying your life back is this cycle that you can really evaluate if you can step away from your business, right? So here are 4 things, and it's called the buyback loop. And so I'm going to explain it to you. I'll draw it out for you. So the concept of this is, it's kind of like you're a salesperson and you're doing all the admin for yourself. You're tracking all your business pending, you're booking all your appointments, you're doing everything in your business. You're the admin, you're the salesperson, you're the CEO, you're the manager, you're everything, right? And there's just not any time in the day. It's crazy, right? So how do you buy back your time? Just getting in, and especially those of you that are building the business, I know a lot of you, like the majority, you can't step away from your business because your business will go backwards if it's not you, right? So here's the concept of this buyback loop. And the concept is, you don't hire to grow your business, you hire to buy back your time. Okay? You don't hire to grow your business, you hire to buy back your time. Okay? Are you the person that needs to follow up on your pending, or should you hire someone at $20 an hour to follow up on your pending? Does that make sense? Is your time worth $20 an hour? If it's worth $20 an hour, then, but you know what? If you can make $500 on a sale, spending an hour and a half in someone's home, then I would say probably that your time is worth way more than $20 an hour. So why are you doing $20 an hour work? Don't hire to grow your business, hire to buy back your time. So follow me on this. The next thing is, you can't personally outwork yourself to a better business. I get people that tell me, man, I'll outwork anybody. Well, you'll outwork yourself to a mediocre business. Do you want a great business or do you want a mediocre business? Because you're wasting your time. You only have 24 hours in a day. Eventually you're going to be doing everything. And then you have a problem in that you or your relationships with other people will break down. How many people have lost their spouses because they're working all the time, but they don't pay attention to their family, right? Or their health goes bad. You can't personally outwork yourself to a better business, okay? And then if you keep grinding, you're eventually going to hit the pain line. What's the pain line? This is where you're experiencing so much pain when you try to grow that you will either stall your business, right? Because you can't possibly do more in it, or you're going to figure out some way to subconsciously sabotage it. What do I mean by that? There's a point where I was doing like 10, 15 interviews a day, 5 days a week, and even sometimes a few on Saturday. And that's all I was doing. And I was praying for a no-show. It's like, please, Lord, please let this person no-show me, because I just need to do some other things. And then I was doing all my important work after the interviews. And what I mean by that is building relationships with agents and train and personally mentoring them. Not training them per se, because I've got people that train, but and training them. That's part of relationship building. Like, that's the meaningful stuff. But I was doing all the recruiting. And I just hit this wall. I got to the pain. Okay. And so the last thing in this cycle is the buyback loop. And this part will just, like, this blows my mind. It's what I've done, but to define it now totally makes sense. Okay. So when you hit this pain line where you just cannot do more and you're frustrated and angry and it brings out all these negative emotions out of you. What you do is you audit your time and you determine the low value tasks that are totally sucking your energy down, right? then what you do is you transfer those tasks to someone who's better at them than you and enjoys them. Okay. What a concept. Let me give this to you because you love it, and typically if you're an inspirational type person, like meaning the disc profile, or, you're more of that, bigger vision type person, you need to find a detailitis person that you can give these tasks to because they love the detail. So pay them $20 an hour to give them something they love to do for you, and you don't have to do that anymore, right? Then you get to fill your time with higher value tasks that will light you up and make you way more money. Like, it lights me up when I can talk to an agent, help them out, get them over their mindset, their issues. I just love fixing things. I love talking to agents to help them fix things. I love that part. And guess what? I make more money doing that than doing individual recruiting calls. Oh my gosh. I just want to throw up when I think about, like, I love recruiting, but I don't love it as much as helping agents that we've already recruited overcome obstacles in their mind. And then you wash, rinse, and repeat. In other words, building your business gets so big, all of a sudden you figure out, I can't work on the social media part of my business anymore. It's too much work. I got to hire a social media person now. Okay, so you go do that, right? Look at all the things you should do in your business that are causing you that pain and suck your energy and life out of you, and then hire it out. There's one of the biggest partners in integrity marketing. And what this dude did, and you know his name, I'm not going to mention his name. You'll know his name if I mention it. What he did is he built his business. And the way he built his business, he built a huge business. But every step along the way, when he got to this pain point, he hired someone to replace him, to the point that he put key people in place, good people. He got the right people on the bus, that his business was rocking. And he could step away and do nothing. But these people are so invested in his vision and they were all about it. His business grew and continues to grow now. And he doesn't have to do anything other than provide some light coaching, inspiration, right? He's sort of the name behind the business. And it's like, and you think integrity marketing values that business? Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, Dennis, Patrick, John, thoughts?
I mean, you put it into a whole new perspective. And you reminded me of an older guy who once was mentoring me. And he said to me, equating it to personal tasks, how he would decide whether or not to have his car washed or to have a gardener come to his lawn by how much it was per hour and how much he was worth. And it just raised a whole new perspective on delegating responsibilities, like you said, getting buying back your time. That's
absolutely
awesome.
In fact, one thing that sorry about this. I forgot to share what that looks like, right? People are visual too. And maybe you'll understand it more when you kind of see what the picture looks like. Okay. So you're building your business, you're going kind of in an upward direction because you're putting a lot of time and energy and effort. And then you hit the pain. Okay. The pain right here. Okay. And so what you do is you go into audit mode. It's like, what am I doing that's causing this pain? And what are low value tasks I can give to someone else? And then you figure out what those low value tasks are to you. They're high value to them. What you're doing is you're transferring your low value tasks to you, to someone that values those tasks. And then you transfer it. You hire someone to replace you, right? And here's what happens. Okay, they fill in, or you transfer that, and then you fill it with your high value tasks, and then you move your business to the next level. So you just keep doing this loop, and over time, what you're going to figure out is that you have a life with you and your family. You have a business that's growing without you. And you ultimately have a business that someone would want to buy because it's growing without you. You don't have to be the magic in the business. You put the right people in place and you created the system by which your business grows. It's the process. You created the process. So anyway, I hope that visual made sense. Patrick?
I have a lot of work to do. I remember one thing that you, before you used these businessy terms, but you were using alliance terms, and early on, the way you said, "Can my business grow without me?" You said something. This might not be exactly the same thing, but do you remember when you said, "Draw your whole group out. Draw it out from your biggest group, your biggest producers, the ones who have the most recruiters inside that leg, and then go all the way to when you have your smallest person, meaning they just got started. Their business is the smallest because they just got started, and then draw a line between that first biggest group and your next biggest group." And I was like, okay, this is great. I'm doing what Alex is saying, drawing a line. And then he said, and if you really want to get bold, you draw another line. So you got your biggest group, your second biggest group, and then draw a vertical line between these two biggest groups and all the other legs. And then you said, now, these legs, Patrick, these are my legs. These aren't your legs. I'm the one who built these, or consider it that Andy built it or the system built it, but you didn't build it. What's left? And whenever I do that, it's like I take everything that I'm learning and and even now today, when I do that same exercise, I'm not left with much outside of those two legs. So all these tools that you've given me help me to be able to get past those two legs.
Well, I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, me too. Okay, so I'm talking to me, so I'm teaching me more than any of y'all. And maybe you'll get something from this self conversation. Anyway, we're come close to the end of our time, but let me say this. You saw my little promo video on family reunion. It's true. Agents make dumb mistakes by making dumb decisions when they get their license. And the only way you learn the proper way to think and make the right decision is by going and getting around the right people. For my mentorship, I spent $30,000 a year for hanging around these type of people that help me get my mind right on it. Can you spend $1,000 to get down to Florida plus the ticket? The ticket price is $299 now. And by the way, today is the last day for VIP tickets. So for $149, you can get front row seats for the entire function, for the entire event, right? But get your ticket. Here's the thing: get your plane ticket, get your ticket, and make that investment, man. Make that commitment. See, the thing about here's what I found. Here's the benefit of my 23 years of experience, is that the people that really do this thing are the people that are ambitious, okay? They're motivated and they're committed. AMC, ambitious, motivated, committed. To me, when people step out on faith and get down to the events, that tells me they're ambitious, motivated, and committed. Now, what would I want to work, Patrick, with someone who's not ambitious, someone who's not motivated, and someone who's not committed? Man, I use this analogy all the time. You're hiring an agent, you find out that they have 5 divorces in their background. I think they probably have a problem with commitment, and I'm probably not going to hire them. We are at a pace right now of talking to so many people. That's something that I delegated to Mary, and she's killing it. She's doing better than me. Okay. And our agency's just blowing up because of her. And thank God for her, man. Anyway, our agency's blowing up. So I don't have to beg anyone to come in. We are selectively hiring people. If they can't turn a dadgum computer on, I'm telling Mary, flush them. If they can't get the technology down, flush them. Does that make sense? Ambitious, motivated, and committed. People that come to functions are that. And that's the only people, really, in my opinion, humble but accurate opinion, that build this business, that become successful, that are the 10%, not the 90%, that are still around after 12 months. That should be a sobering statistic for all y'all out there that just got your life insurance license. I'm telling you what, man, be smart and get down to Miami. I don't care what it takes. Sell something to someone. Sell something to your family and friends. Sell something to someone so you can get the money, so you can buy your ticket, buy your plane ticket, get your hotel room, whatever you have to do. That's what I thought about. And like I said in the video, our first function, right, Patrick? Patrick was there. That was the function, the event that changed our lives, right? So anyway, gang, I'm done. It's 1:30. Thank you, Alliance Nation. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Dennis and John and Patrick, for being on this call and listening. And thanks, Alliance Nation. I appreciate y'all. I hope I've helped you and given you something to chew on and think about as the founders of your insurance business. So rock on, gang. God bless. See you later.
Thank you.
Take care.
Great call.